Bryant for MMA Heat. I'm here with Dean Cain. And Dean, you know, I'm not going to ask the stupid question of what brings you out on a night like this. I know you're a fight fan, but how long have you been a fight fan?
As long as I've been able to walk. You know, I think it's amazing. It's the ultimate form of competition. Two men step into an octagon or a ring, and they get it on. I mean, it's amazing. So I've always been a fight fan. You know, it was boxing when I was a kid, and I wrestled in high school. And then when, because I'm old enough to know when it didn't exist, when they started the stuff with the octagon and MMA stuff, I started to really pay attention. And I have been to a number of fights. I think it's amazing. Again, I think it's the purest form of fighting out there, and I'm a huge fan.
Do you remember the first event that you went to?
The first one I went to wasn't the first event. Although I was around for the first event because I'm old like that. But
you look good though for your age. I mean, if that's what we're going for, it's working, and keep it up.
I love you. Yeah. First one I might have seen live. I think it was the first time. I think it was Chuck Iceman Liddell and Randy Couture when Randy upset him, and I was calling it early on, not to diss Chuck because I'm cool, but Randy's my man, and I was like, you know, they weren't even calling him the Natural at that time because he was still young. Now, you know, he's 117 years old. It's amazing.
But again, that's somebody you still don't want to tangle with.
I would never tangle with him, ever. None of them. Nobody. There's a guy over here probably weighs, I don't know, about 150 pounds, 45 pounds. I wouldn't even mess with him. I know better. I'm smart.
That's good.
That keeps me alive.
Well, now you say you were a wrestler, and I know you were a football player as well. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
So, was there ever any thought, though? Did you ever at least box yourself, train a little bit? I mean, are you the type of person that could at least get in there and get your own understanding firsthand of what it's like?
Look, I love the fight game. And I said earlier, had MMA been as big as it is now when I was a kid, I may very well have gone into it because I love it. I love it as a sport and as a discipline. I was a good wrestler. I've always been able to fight. I've been able to throw hard punches, if you will. But there's no venue at that time. Just street fights, which I never did.
I'm going to TMZ that later and check it out. You know that.
I've had a couple scraps in my day, but you know, these guys are artists. I mean, these guys, I mean, even like Tito and Rampage, who didn't fight tonight, you know, they're friends, but when they get in there, they're going, it's a chess game, and a power chess game, but it's amazing. That's what I love about it. And then I'll still go back to the Mike Tyson quote, which is, you know, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, and that's the truth. And this is the ultimate form of like I said, of warriors in our time, our time now, where nobody's going to get killed. It's the ultimate form of warrior expression.
You articulate that well. It's great. It's the explanation I give to people all the time who are saying, like, why do you cover this sport? And then I say, come to an event and it'll change your mind, because really there's nothing like seeing it live.
These guys aren't like fit for the magazines. These guys are fit to get it on. And you look at these guys, I mean, they're some of the most elite athletes you could find. And the thing about coming to an event like this is don't mess with the wrong guy. Don't bump me. You, next thing you know. So I'm going to be really nice to everyone here, male, female, alike.
Now listen, you work all the time. I know this, but obviously many of our fans will know you from Lois and Clark. Did you do your own stunts back then? Were you an active guy, or were you not allowed to?
I did a large number of my own stunts. But when it came to like doing something really dangerous, like flying through a window, that was my man. My man, Lincoln Simons. You go fly through the window, and I'll get up with fake glass on me. But you know, as far as running and jumping, I had Lincoln beat. But when it came to like doing something really dangerous, Link, you go on ahead, buddy.
And I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but what do you make of the current versions of Superman, the guys that have played him since you? Have you been impressed with anybody? Is there anybody you thought it particularly stood out and did a great job?
Well, Tom Welling played a character for 10 years, which is amazing. Never put on the suit, never flew.
Right.
Hard to call it Superman when you don't do that.
Why didn't they let him fly? He jumped like a son of a gun.
Apparently, like a son of a gun. Apparently that was in his contract. I don't know. Brandon Routh, great guy, and he did a great job. I just didn't love that particular film. I think Henry Cavill's film was amazing and fantastic. When he's doing this stuff, you know, he didn't talk a whole lot. Henry, you didn't talk a whole lot in that film, but I mean, extremely fit the part. Did a great job, but it's a different incarnation. It's a little darker, a little more menacing, if you will.
And
killed somebody.
And that's what I was just about to say. It was pretty dark. And lastly, what are we going to be able to see you in next?
we don't have enough time for that, right?
I know, that's the thing. What I think is so great is that you are constantly in demand. You're a guy that probably gets 20 scripts a week.
Yeah, well, the thing for me is when I get them, they're usually attached with a day to start and a day to end filming. But I'm actually hosting a show called $10 Million Bigfoot Bounty for Spike. And that starts airing in January. Also, I started the second season for Hit the Floor on VH1, and I've made, I think, 7 movies this year. So, me and Michael Jai White, we work a lot, and I'm in much better shape than he is.
Michael Jai's a wuss.
You said that, right? Michael, I didn't say it. I didn't say that.
I did. Well, Dean, thank you for taking the time. I'll let you get back to enjoying yourself. It's great to see you, and keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. Thank you. She looks pretty good, doesn't she?
Thank you, Dean.
My pleasure. Great.